Hello Bandai fans, not particularly Gundam, but Bandai model kit fans. If you watch any of my model building videos, you obviously know I complain about making models. I don't actually like to do it. So, I just like finished models. That's why most of my stuff is already finished. But I was walking through one of my used toy shops, and this guy was selling this thing. And I'm like, what the heck is that? It looks cool. And it turns out, after some Google Lens searching, it is called the Portanova Marine Type in purple. And Zaku Aurelius, who's in my subscriptions, reviewed this 3 years ago, and the box art actually says 2020, so that's why I couldn't find any model kits of it. So I decided to just go with one where someone actually did all the work for me. So let's take a look and see what this person did. I'm not even sure if I have all the parts. I'm not too concerned because it was cheaper than the price of any model kits I found for this online. So my immediate impression of this guy was, it looks kind of like the robot from like Chappie. I don't know, it's these little two things here. And then the color combination for me works really well. I don't know, I just don't see too many things that are purple, light blue, and yellow. So it's obviously called the marine type, so it's some sort of scuba diving kind of, themed thing here, as you can see, just by, that looks like a modern scuba mask. And then I looked up what is 30-minute missions. I thought that was like, it takes 30 minutes to build these things, but it turns out it's some sort of like a game that was created to use these robots. And in the game, you can destroy other robots and they'll lose their arms and legs and all that stuff. The parts will come off. And I think the reason why is because most of these 30-minute mission robots seem to have peg holes, the standard 3mm diameter peg holes, which is typical of the runner size in these Bandai model kits. But this size is standardized across many Gundam platforms. So not only just the high grade kits, but even some of the deformed stuff, and possibly even some of the not converge, but oh boy, those smaller model kits, which elude me right now. Alright, let's continue on. I apologize, my cat hair got into my nostrils. Alright, I'm just discovering this as we go along. Here's the head looks awesome, by the way. That is pretty much the main feature that I like. I don't know why I'm such a sucker for a clear piece of plastic, the mono eye here, but I am. I prefer the mono eye look in the actual Gundam robots. Not the two-eyed looks of Gundams, but more the Zeon suits and the enemy suits. So this really appealed to me. So it definitely looks like a scuba mask. I can also see that someone went through this whole thing with paint wash. It looks kind of weathered, so that saves me time as well. Alright, well, the head here, oh, look at that, that's cool. So that articulates, as you can see. And then the head can do a giggity, giggity. Okay, and then it's got rotation. So it seems to be a peg with a ball up in there. I'm not sure if the light's getting in there. So that's nice. You can get probably, a little bit of side to side because there's a ball up there. Alright, so that's very good head articulation. The shoulders, I can clearly see a ball here, and then that polycap, it comes out a little bit, so there's a butterfly effect, so that's nice. Pretty good range there, front and back. Alright, so now this thing is rotating on that peg. Looks like the shoulder can rotate on that peg independently. Can this shoulder also go up and down? I bet it can, just knowing Bandai. Okay, get this out of here. 3mm peg, so you can put those pieces anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously it's moving, but I think it's just a looseness on that peg. Alright, well, you got a hinge joint here for the shoulder, and it is a gappy there, but I pressed it back together, so it's colliding with the armor even less than 90 degrees. Yeah, but it's close to 90 degrees out horizontal. Obviously the whole thing can rotate around. The elbow bend is greater than 90 degrees, so that's pretty good. And then, can this rotate? Yep, the bicep looks, no, the bicep does not rotate. I don't want to break it. But it looks round in there, so, yeah, I don't know. Alright, let's move it on. little hinge here for the elbow, and then this shield piece can come off, I assume, right? Yeah, there you go. So a 3mm hole there, and so yeah, you can start popping on parts in other places. So the model kit seems to have come with stickers, not water slide decals. I think they're literally stickers, like on a real grade kind of kit. Alright, then the hand is just molded, you know, and there's no finger articulation or anything like that, but it's on a ball peg, so you can get some great articulation, right? Rotate around, yeah, angle it, whatever, however. Okay, whoa, that's a serious amount of side to side hip, well, not even hip, it's a torso, so there's got to be a hinge up there. Ah, boys, this is very common to mobility joint. That's the model kit thing I was thinking about, those tiny model kits I've done a video or two on now, so that's what that reminds me of. But it's just, oh, it's actually, there's a ball up in there, which mobility joint doesn't have, so this can actually get some ab crunch, really good ab crunch, I think. Not back though, but forward is what matters, and if you are trying to mimic a human being at least. Alright, so this arm is obviously the same as the other. And then these polycaps, yeah, you can pop them out pretty easily. Alright, so we have this armor piece here on the side of the hip, and that has like a hinge there. We have some more 3mm holes there, and then this thing's got these funky thrusters, and they're obviously pivoting on this peg here. And you can probably remove those. Yeah, alright. In the event that you want to pop some other 3mm object on, you can. This thing here. The nice thing about Bandai, there's no glue. Most of it's all friction fit, and it generally works pretty well. It's very, you don't usually have to use glue on these things. Okay, so this leg, you know, obviously vertical, but it can move out pretty much that far. I bet it could move further if that hip armor wasn't there. I bet you could just take the hip armor off because it's, I don't think it's glued, but alright, so then this can rotate, kick forward quite a bit, kick back. It could probably kick its, look at that. It can kick the back of its shoulder. It's just that these jet thrusters are in the way. In fact, let's get rid of those, and we'll put them all back on later. Yeah, so you can see all these holes being revealed. So there's other 30-minute mission kits, and they all have these holes all over them, kind of like Mobile Suit Ensemble. And then, you know, you could just start mixing and mashing parts together to have like Frankenstein creations. What's noticing, the hip here has a flat plate that rotates, and that's what this hip is attached to. So that's extra hip rotation. It's literally changing the rotation point of this hip joint. See, so there it's back. Here, I'll pop it in front, and see, you can see the legs, how much difference there is. So that's kind of interesting. I've never seen that before. I don't make too many Gundam kits, so. Alright, going to the knee, it's a double joint. Hinge there. So, unfortunately, it's not a very good bend. You know, it's, I would assume it should bend further than that, but no, it's colliding. Something about this thing here, or no? Yeah, oh, wait a sec. No, it was just I don't know, something was giving resistance. So yeah, that's pretty good. It can kick the back of it itself. So, very impressive. I do like these little shock details. A little paint there would be nice. And then you'll notice the kneecap stays here and it separates out, but does this? No. I thought for a moment that hinged, but it does not. I like how it blends in though when the leg is together. So, alright, just looking at the details here. A little ankle guard here, which can obviously come off. Yeah, this will be weird. I don't know if that's going to fit, but no, it's not going to fit because this is a ball peg. So that's interesting. It's interesting that some of them have, this shield has a cup, whereas this shield has a peg. And then this thing, yeah, it doesn't have a round peg. It literally has to slide in like that. So that one fell out. That might be something I do want to glue one day. And it's got these thruster feet here, being like an aquatic marine type. And yeah, you can take that off. I think I saw a photo online where someone popped on one of these. This is, I guess that's the end of the articulation. It's such a slender robot that beyond looking like Chappie to me, you can get a lot of posing, it looks like. And whoever owned this before didn't play with it too much. It still holds its pose. So here's that back thruster, and this, oh, I see. Well, that's interesting. It's got like a peg to hinge something on, but this doesn't hinge on it. It's just, yeah. That's, okay. Alright, there's a peg hole there, yeah, that comes off, and again, it has something else. There must be some other parts that have a claw that can snap around this, but maybe it's not in this kit. No. You would think this would be a peg system, like a round peg, but it's a tab. That's kind of weird. If it was round, you know, you could rotate this, but why would they get rid of that feature? Strange. Alright, nice little black detail someone added. Does this claw open? Yes, it does. Very cool. Alright. And then there's actually little inner claws that don't move. It's kind of like an alien mouth with double action. Alright, nice stickers there. They're not too obtrusive, although you can, if you look carefully, you can see the square. Alright, pop that back on, or leave it open. Maybe we'll find that claw thing. Yeah, alright, so now this is round, but then you have these four things around it, so I guess you can, no, you can't rotate it, because there's a flat spot molded into that hole. So that, I guess they don't want you to rotate it, because that thing continues into the gray piece. Okay, some sort of spiky looking thing with the 3mm holes on both sides. And then again, it's got this peg, which I think is really odd because you can't rotate the thing. Alright, well, anyways, if you want to spike something to death, that's what you want to do. And then this little, looks like a drone of some sort. It's got a little peg hole there, and a peg in the back, and then a peg hole in the bottom. And then, yeah, a peg and a hole. It's actually a double peg system on that one. But, but unfortunately, see, I want to instinctively put this purple thing on this yellow thing, but nope. I think it would have been better if everything used round 3mm pegs and 3mm holes. So I don't actually see anything that's supposed to claw that. Yeah, alright. And then, yeah, I'm not sure how I saw a photo. Oh, you'd probably have to take some 3mm runner. Oh, unless I can just take the foot off. Yeah, that's an idea. So you can just have thruster tubes here instead of these giant thruster tubes. As you can see here. Oh, and look at this. This side-to-side rocker here on this foot. So, even more. Look at that. That's a lot of movement side to side. So that's cool. Discovered something new there. Hold on. Oh, will this go on here? No, it will not. I'm not sure why there's such a tiny hole there. Alright. So now where could we try to put these? Maybe here? No. Unfortunately the peg doesn't stick out past the surface. It's flush. So that's a lost opportunity. It would have been cool to be able to put that like right there, like Exia or something. But no, cannot do. What about these little guys? No, because that's not a peg, it's a hole. Alright. So certain parts it seems not really designed to be interchangeable so much. And now where did this thing come from? Oh, off the hand. No, yep. So you can see that. That's something I probably will have to glue on because it's specific to this robot. And then, yeah, alright, we do have a peg hole here, so if you want to use a stand, you can do so. I guess I'll start putting this guy back to the way it was. So we put this backpack on here. And then we'll save those thrusters to the end. We got this foot thing that goes on here. I see. There's actually a polycap in the foot. So, yeah, not only can that whole foot pivot there, then you can pivot the foot on that even. So that is a great amount of articulation. Look, that doesn't even make sense, right? The dude's ankle is totally crooked. He's doing a dog leg like a Tetris. Interesting. But cool. Interesting but cool. Alright, I guess these have to go in a certain way because there's a tab inside. So the feet are quite interesting, you know, being thrusters, but they're elevated, so it looks like it can walk on hot coals and not hurt itself. Of course, it's a robot, so. And then, yeah, pop the shield back on, but let's pop it on. No. I wonder if we could put this anywhere else useful. Like here. And then have this. No, sadly, no. So just looking at the box art, you can make, you know, this a giant super spike claw weapon. Or it looks like you can take this, and this is a handle. So you can pop it into a hand, and that rectangle will keep it from rotating. If you want it to rotate, just don't push it in all the way. But yeah, push it down and it'll stay put. Yeah, I just took the drone apart, you know, pop that in the side, give it a little claw action, I guess. Yeah, I guess maybe it's a radome now. Look at this. Let's see if that's what this looks like. Yeah, alright. So you can definitely have a lot of interesting scenarios. You can literally play with this thing. It's a model kit, but it's a toy, right? So it's kind of neat. I rather like it. Alright, that's the final pose for today. I gotta say, one other cool thing is the way this shield can blend right into that forearm. It's like almost a perfect fit right there. It's kind of cool. This model kit is a lot cooler than I thought it was gonna be. The possibility of combining parts and all that stuff, you know, it's nothing new, but it's new to me. I don't really, you know, do that so much with the other Gundams I have. Here's a mobility joint Banshee, and yeah, let's see this shield here. Unfortunately, this one has a hole, and I used a 3mm piece of sprue. So, but it is 3mm, so you could, if you find a peg somewhere on there, you could, you know, do that. But it's a totally different scale, obviously. This is like a high grade. This is a deformed, and then a bigger deformed would be the crossbone cross silhouette thing of this crossbone. So even still, this is shorter than this type of robot here. But I did notice there's a whole lot of kits here. I've walked by them many a time. I just never bothered to get them because I don't think there's any sort of animation based around 30-minute missions. If Bandai was smart, they would just have a cartoon series for these guys, you know, and then they would sell even more kits. So that's it for the size comparisons. I don't really have any other realistic looking Gundams to compare to, and that's fine. I'm kind of past that right now. Eventually I'll build some more, but it takes time to build these things. So thank you whoever weathered this up for me, and you did a pretty decent job of getting rid of a lot of the nub marks. So in fact, if Bandai was smart, they would actually figure out a way to just ship you the pieces and not on the runners, like because it's the nub marks that I think stop people from building model kits. They're just ugly to look at. If you look at Lego, you know, you buy their Legos and they're perfect looking. So I don't know how Lego is making all those blocks to be perfect with no nub marks, but Bandai, I'm sure you can do it. You could charge some more money, and you could basically sell a mess load more of plastic if you did do that, because people are lazy like me, right? Thanks for watching today. Don't be surprised if I do get some more 30-minute missions with the actual box and actually do make them. I kind of like these now. Thanks for watching. See you guys.